Hey everybody, we're back. On this episode of Sink or Swim Garage, we're gonna get the motor behind me running. We did a video on it the other day, just did a short clip, but the audio was really horrible on the video. Hopefully today it's a little better and you can actually see what's going on. But we're gonna go ahead and try to get this 400 running that we built, this 406 for the Chevelle build for the Hot Rod Power Tour. I told everybody that I would get it running so we could see it on camera and stuff and make sure everything was good on it. We have one little bitty oil leak coming out of the oil pan around the bottom, but let's go ahead and check it out here. We got it all back together. We got the fuel in here, and I didn't hook the radiator and stuff up on it. I let it run a couple of times, just short runs, nothing long, so we don't have no water in it. But it seemed like it's running really good, and there's no issues or anything with it. So hopefully it'll be okay and we can get that thing dropped down in there. But I just thought I'd give you a quick clip of it running, and the video footage that we had of it before, putting everything on, the heads and the valve covers, intake, all that stuff, doing the valve adjustments. During the video footage, it was so hard to hear. It was all distorted really bad. So I just thought I'd shoot this clip right here, and then we can, next clip we do, we're gonna bring the car over and drop the motor down in it and get it running. I wanted to go over something with you on this engine that a lot of you may not know about. If you'll look down in here on this motor, I'm going to show you a trick to these 400s for the flywheels and that. If you can see down in there, see if I can get you a better view here. See if I can get you a good view of this. If you look down in there, there's a gold looking plate in between the crankshaft and the flywheel. It's like a little counterweight piece that's in there. I'll put a link into it in the description. But this is a 350 flywheel right here. And what I do is I ordered the brand new flywheel for this, but it's not here yet. It's supposed to be here today. And I'll video record when I put the transmission onto the motor before we drop into Chevelle. You guys will see it. But I don't run the 400 flywheels on these 400 motors. And as you can see, just to verify, so we make sure we're not misleading anyone, you see the block numbers, 511, 511. This is the same motor we've been building on the YouTube thing for the Chevelle Power Tour build. But I use a 153 tooth 350 flywheel. And this starter right here that's on here is just a little mini torque starter. I think that thing's about 5 years old, and it came from eBay if I remember right. And I always run these 350 153 tooth flywheels on these and just move the starter in. You know, it's got some starters have the, it'll have 4 bolt holes for you to move it out or move it in. I move it all the way in on the bolt pattern on the starter, and I buy a 153 tooth 350 flywheel. And I buy that little counterweight. I'll put a part up, the link in the description above is what part. It's only $22. So all you guys out there having flywheel trouble with these 400s, this is what I do to never have that issue. You know, if you're scared to leave and you don't want to go far away because you're afraid it's not going to start or whatever, I always buy that little plate that I just showed you in the link above. It's $22 or $24, depends where you buy it from. And you can just get a $37 350 153 tooth flywheel, a cheap mini torque starter. I'll show you here. It's just a cheap mini torque starter that I got on here. This thing is old as can be. But as you can see, that starter is old. It's got dents and stuff all in it. I've had this starter forever for using it for the test stand. But that's really all I use. And if you'll notice on the 400s, these ears are always broke off the starters all the time. That's because with those big flex plates with the counterweight on them, people shim them differently. See, I got 2 shims in here, right? And I'm actually we'll go over that. When I do the next video, we'll probably take those out because I don't think I need them, but we'll see. But you'll never have starting problems again. This thing will fire right up every time, and you won't have any issues with that. And I want to try to see, you guys can see the plate down in there. See See if I can't get you a view so you can see that plate down in there. See that gold plate down in there between the see that gold plate down in there between the flywheel and the crankshaft? It's like a gold plate. It's like a little spacer plate. That acts as a counterweight. That acts as a counterweight, so you can use the 153 teeth 350 flywheel. And I've ran 12 to 1 in these before, 8 to 1, 9 to 1, 10 to 1. I've been doing this for many years and I've never had one issue with it. So if you want to solve your 400 starter problems, that's how you solve them. But we're going to go over this really quick and we're going to fire this thing up. The heads we used on this motor are going to be Vortec heads. We ported and polished them. We put 202 valves on them. Basically, I put a 580 lift spring on it. The last video that I did, the springs I had originally on here were 525. The camshaft on this motor here is a 504 525, and the springs would only hold 550. Well, the springs that I had on there before were for 550 lift. The camshaft is a Lanati. It's a 60104 part number, and the springs on here with the 1.5 was for that lift. The 1.5 rockers were for the 504 525 lift. But the rockers, the roller rockers that I had were 7/16 studs. So when I put those center bolt valve covers down through there, you can see them behind me here, these center bolt valve covers, where the screws go down, they wouldn't clear the rocker arms because of those 7/16 studs. So I don't have any 1.5 rockers that are 3/8 studs. Only ones I got are 1.6s. But I do have some springs here. So what I did was I just bumped the lift up on the heads, changed the springs out, and it's got like 585, I think, close to 600 now lift springs on there, and the camshaft, he bumps up usually about 30,000. So it's like now, instead of it being a 504, it's a 534, and then the exhaust is going to be a 555. So I'm still above the recommendations, what they want. So it seems like it's running really good, no issues or anything. Only thing I got a small little oil leak on the pan. But I just wanted to share the flywheel with you and let you know if you have any starter issues out of 400s. And that's why you see the ears broke off those motors. They ain't never on a 350 block. It's usually always a 400 block where the ears broke off the side of the starter, or the starter bolt holes are always stripped out. Ask me how I know. I've had a lot of blocks where I've had to just basically, I'm not welding the ear on there. To me, it's not worth it. But if you run a 350 flywheel on there, your problems will be over. You won't have to deal with none of that garbage anymore. You can feel free to drive your classic car, go wherever you want to go. You don't have to worry about your car not starting or being worried. And I'll show you how good this thing starts on the stand. It starts awesome. But I think I do need to take the shims out of there. When I put the flywheel on there, that's a stick shift flywheel off 84 Corvette, and the teeth are a little messed up on that one, but it's all I had laying around until my new one comes in today. It's supposed to be here. So when we bolt the trans up on the next video, when we install this motor in the Chevelle, I'll show you, I'll include that where I bolt the flywheel on with that plate, and we'll bolt the trans on, and I'll show you. So let's go ahead and fire this thing up really quick, and I'll give you guys a listen at it. Be right back. One of the rockers loose on this side, you can barely hear it. That good oil pressure at idle. Well, guys, I hope you liked the video. I didn't want to run it too much. Being it ain't got no water or nothing in it, it ain't gonna hurt it. Sometimes it's good to let it run for a few minutes, seat them gaskets in good. That's what I've always done. So, but it runs awesome. We got a little small minor oil leak on the side of the oil pan, and we're gonna get this thing dropped into Chevelle in the next couple days because we got to hurry up, man. We're running way behind in the hot rod power tour. So if we want to make it, we got to start getting the body done and all that. So it was funny. I revved it up. There was some looked like squirrels that put like the walnuts from the tree. Looked like they put them inside the exhaust. I had them sitting out there for like 2 weeks, and I think the squirrels might have made a nest in the exhaust because you can kind of smell like where it's the header pipes burning the walnuts and the mufflers. So sorry it's being quiet. It's just those mufflers are little 2-inch mufflers, but I put them on so that I can hear everything, kind of adjust everything, you know what I mean? I don't have no issues or nothing. But I hope you liked the video, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Thanks a lot. Sink or Swim Garage.